Hello and welcome, bookworms. Welcome to this week's episode of The Consented Narrative. We're looking at The Last Family in England by Matt Haig. Now, I know I have reviewed quite a few of his books on this channel, but each book is so completely different. It's like a different point of view. It's a different story. It's like there's no set narration that he's sticking with. So this is why I keep going back and reviewing his books, because you're not getting the same thing twice. So The Last Family in England broke me, okay? Now, what I'm going to say is not a spoiler because it's literally like the first chapter of the book. The dog is going to be put down. So this book is from the perspective of the dog, okay, of the family Labrador, and his name is Prince, and it's told from his perspective. And we find out that, like, the first chapter, first thing in, is we find out he's going to the vet and he's going to be put down. And you kind of sat there going, no! Now, if you can get past that bit, the story that it tells is just sensational. As I said, it's told from the point of Prince, and he's looking after this family. The Labradors have a pact, but then you've got, you know, the Spaniels are the outlaws and everything like that. And he's learning, and he must live by the pact, and he must obey the pact and everything. Always keep your family unit together. And it kind of goes through this where he's seeing his family unit fall apart, and there's a bit here and a bit there. And so this causes him to do drastic measures that necessarily wouldn't have been allowed in the form of a dog, which then would unfortunately cause him to be put down. And what you think is going to be the cause of it, and you're like, oh, that's going to be why, it's not. And then you're like, okay, and then what is actually the cause of it? You're like, oh no! Like, honest to God, at the start, I was like, okay, we're stuck. Because I honestly, when I'm watching films, when I'm watching TV shows, when I'm reading books, if there's a chance that the dog dies or the cat dies or like the family pet dies, I'm like, no, I'm done. I'm not happy. No, thank you. But with this one, I knew, like, as I said, going in, you know what the end of the story is. So it's not like a gut punch like that, but it still breaks your heart when you see the way that he's interacting with everybody. And it's just, you kind of sat there going, oh, Prince, no. And obviously you want to protect him and everything like that. And then the final bit, right? And again, I don't discuss endings. But the final bit, just before he gets taken to the vets, and when he realizes what he realizes, I was just like, well, that was the sucker punch. That was the, oh damn, that dog. And that was also the part where I was just like, I was tears, absolute tears. So don't go to read this book unless you are looking for, you know, a good cathartic cry, because otherwise your heart will break. But honestly, Matt Haig, every time I read his books, I think there was only like one that I wasn't 100% on, but the majority of them, when I read the books, I'm like, oh my God, it's a whole new story, it's a whole new perspective, and it's just such creative storytelling, and you absolutely just hang on what he's saying. And sometimes I'm like, because I read another book, I think it was by Joe Nesbo maybe, where it was written from the perspective of the dog, and I just couldn't get into it. I just didn't like it. But this one felt personable, felt lovely, and I just wanted to hug Prince. I just wanted to hug him. So please, obviously give this book a go. Buy it, rent it. What are we, Blockbuster? Buy it, borrow it, you know, do whatever you need to do. But please let me know what you think below in the comments. Think, like, as well, if there's a Matt Haig book that you are absolutely in love with, leave it below in the comments. Let me know. And if I've already read it, you know, I'll make sure, if I haven't already reviewed it, I'll review it. And if I haven't read it, I will add it to my list, because as I said, I do love him as an author. He's so versatile. But as usual, thank you so much for your continued support. I would not be doing this if it weren't for you guys watching me. Like, honestly, it's so good to know that I'm recommending books out there and people are actually reading and enjoying and building this into their lives. So thank you so much from the bottom of my heart, and I hope you guys have a great reading experience. I remember to always keep it contento.